Last time on Delta Green, it was agents versus madmen in an apartment building. But in all seriousness, of course, welcome back to Delta Green. I'm Michael and these are my players. From left to right, we have Lizard people got them.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm Martin and I'm playing Juan Dos Tres.
Juan dos Tres, indeed. Then we have
It still gets me. Juan dos tres. Well.
Yeah. By the way, we don't want to offend anyone. Just if anyone is wondering,
it's just a dumb pun.
Yes, it is.
A silly pun, yeah.
Yeah, the puns never die. After that, we have
Wei Shen, played by Jim.
Then, oh my god, it's me. Played by myself. And then we have someone with a very cool corgi as an avatar. I approve because I love corgis. And please.
Yeah, Alison Steele, played by Johanna.
Excellent. Right, so to quickly recap, first of all, who's making notes today? I've already created mission log, by the way, with today's date, so you can access it whenever you want. Just a reminder that those notes are rather handy, so I suggest that someone takes them.
Anybody else want to have a go? I think I've had the others.
I could be the secretary. Yes.
All right, awesome, thank you.
Where is the document?
It's called
the notes.
Notes, top note, mission log, 2nd 12/2019. Last time you were in a small rural town. It was Edmond in the state of Montana. You've arrived there because you are actually searching for packet. From what I remember, for an icon, which was used to communicate with the spirit of Rasputin. Timeless Treasures was the shop, which was raided by your organization with no survivors. Unfortunately, said icon, an occult artifact, has been sent. And has been sent to one John Smith in Edmond, Montana. And you are here to track it down. And when you've arrived there, you went to the post office. You've spoken to Mitchell and Susan Freckley. Susan Freckley is the manager. Apparently they have some kind of trouble with packages. They are not arriving, even though the phone messages, have reached out and people apparently have picked them up, even though they didn't. And so Edmond, people of Edmond are naturally outraged that they are not getting their eBay and AliExpress stuff on time. And so you've actually managed to persuade Susan to help you by promising to help her. She gave you the address of one PO Box 483, and the registration card belongs to one Benjamin Hale. You've approached Mr. Hale's apartment building, and you've even knocked at the man's door, and he even opened the door. He's a suspicious bastard. By the way, I'm reading this from the notes. And when he closed the door for a second time, because I dimly believe that you've knocked twice, you've knocked third time, and you've heard that Mr. Hale was actually chanting from inside. Or at least that's what it sounds like. It sounds like something like that. It's very early in the. I believe it's it's early autumn. The weather is nice. You are standing right outside Mr. Hale's apartment on the first floor, and he is chanting. What are you going to do?
So, weren't we about to rush the place?
I think we were about to breach.
Breach
Yeah.
and clear?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we were about to do it police style.
Alright, remind me, because I remember that Alison had her weapons. Had her weapon, her Beretta. You guys also, I believe, had your pistols, your sidearms, right?
Yeah.
Alright. So, we essentially enter into initiative order. The character with the highest dex goes first, so please remind me who has the highest dex.
I have 10.
16.
I have 17.
Alright, and Wei?
Yes.
Sorry, Juan?
Juan is here.
How much dex do you have?
16.
Come again?
16.
16, alright.
16.
So, Wei is first, then it's Juan, then it's Benjamin Hale, and finally we have Alison, who has, I believe, 10, right?
Yep.
Alright. So, Wei, the door is closed. You hear the man chanting on the other side. What is your course of action?
I make eye contact with my colleagues and tell them.
Remember, you have only one action per round.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh, so we're in combat. Oh, I see.
Like I said, initiative order.
Initiative order. So I guess I'll kick open the door then.
You kick open the door. So please make me the appropriate check, which is naturally it will
Roll.
be strength check.
Woohoo!
Let me see. Nice.
Ooh.
You've kicked open the door. The door flew inside the room. Oh, by the way, sorry, it's not first floor. It's third floor apartment. My bad. The door flew inside the room. It's inside. It's dingy, dark. The drapes are closed. By the way, dusty. And you see the man is standing in the middle of his living room, which is connected like with a small like his living room is right next to the door. The man is standing in the living room. There's clearly a revolver in his hand, and with his other hand he's making gestures in the air, and he is in fact speaking gibberish. That was your action. Now we have Juan. You are, I would like to remind you, Wei, you are standing right, you are silhouetted, right in the doorway. Because you've kicked it inside.
So, could I enter?
No, you only have a single action, and you just kick the door inside. So,
Right. I'm gonna just take, like, when he kicks the door open, I'm gonna take a quick peek inside to get the scene. I see him standing there, and I'm just gonna yell out, "Police! Drop the weapon! You are surrounded."
very well.
Otherwise, I'm just keeping him covered because Shay's in the way.
All right. You
So-
are doing that. The man, it's now his turn. You see that he points his left hand towards you. His right hand holding the small revolver is slowly going up, and he makes strange gestures in the air with the fingers of his left hand. He continues to chant. Alison, now it's you.
Yeah, and where do I
You are. I remember that you guys were essentially two people were on one side of the door, and I believe that Wei was on the other side. You know, the textbook door
Yeah,
covering technique, so to speak. So you are standing on the right behind Juan in that case. You, by the way, you can aim over your partner's shoulders and heads if you wish so.
Okay, then I think I'll aim because he's in the way in the door, so I can just aim.
All right. So you pull up your gun, and you aim over their heads. All of you see that. Well, you obviously clearly that Hale is this nasty, unkempt person. He has a really unpleasant face to look at. His eyes are mean, just mean, and his eyes are the worst because they clearly belong to someone who's not really here, if you know what I mean. He's just crazy.
Okay.
A madman looks at you, and he grins so wide while chanting that his face almost stretches to the limit. Right, so now we have once again Wei. Wei, you are in the way.
I'm in the way.
Yeah.
I will enter the room very slowly with my...
Like I've said before, you see that the man is armed, and you also see that he is speaking in tongues.
Yeah, but I think he's occupied with his chanting, so maybe he won't do anything.
Okay.
So I will enter very slowly and see what happens.
You enter very slowly. You have your gun in hand. Are you pointing it at the man?
I'm almost pointing it at him. I have it a little down.
Very well, sure.
So I could be ready up, if something happens, I could just re-aim.
Okay, sure. After that, we have Juan.
I'm gonna take aim, and I'm gonna keep aiming until the guy does anything hostile.
Yeah, by the way, his chant grows in volume, and his hand movements are quicker. Just so all of you know.
Shoot him in the hand!
Yeah, so you are aiming, Juan, okay. The man will try to do something.
And I'm dead.
Nah. Alright. Wait, he pointed at you, and he spoke a word, a final word. You've bent in two. You've bent in you've been bent in double, and you are retching on the floor. You fell to your knees, and you started vomiting. You feel the most horrible stomach pain of your life. Nothing, not a single night of debauched drinking, not even eating that really bad casserole a few years back. Nothing can compare to this. You are emptying the insides of your stomach on this man's filthy carpet. You are unable to do anything. You're just paralyzed for now.
Shoot him! Shoot him!
You can't even speak. It's just your.
Oh, I have to
you can only do the vomiting. You can only do vomiting. just so to speak.
You can only do vomiting.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And
You can speak, but you can only speak in vowels.
yeah, like after a second and a half after you've fallen to your knees, you've fallen on the side of on one side because you're too weak to be even kneeling. After that, we have Alison. Oh, by the way, all of you, including Wei, all of you, please test sanity. Wei, your roll. You have the same roll, but the consequences might be a bit more dire. Okay, Juan passed. Nice.
Success.
Nice. And you've passed. All of you passed. All right, excellent. 69. So, After that, we have Alison. What are you doing? You saw. By the way, the man stopped chanting, and you see that he has this triumphant grin on his face when he saw what happened to Wei. What are you doing, Alison?
Alison just sees everything happen, and then I just fire.
Fire. Excellent. Shoot. You've opened up with your Beretta, and you blew away, well, a few holes in a window, covered in drapes, and in the wall. The man squealed in terror and panic. The shots are deafening in this small enclosure, you know. He shouted something to you, but you can't really understand what it is. It's some kind of a curse. Anyway, we have now Juan. You saw what happened to Wei. He's busy removing the contents of his stomach. It's, by the way, it's the worst case of being sick that you ever saw in your life.
Basically, I can't really fire. The suspect has not really fired.
No, but you see that he is slowly, he's slowly getting his weapon up.
All right, I take him down.
Cascades.
Okay, shoot.
All right, there we go.
You and Alison just unload into the guy. All right, excellent. He's not dodging. Roll for damage.
Heck, here he comes.
Pistol is 1d10.
There we go.
Oh, nice.
Oh, niner.
Nice, very nice. All right, you've shot at the man with your pistol. Remind me, which
57 Magnum.
You have a 57 Magnum.
Oh yeah.
Oh, so
yeah, it's actually
not,
a
so it's
not
not
damage.
All right. So it's higher, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Should I roll again?
No. It's fine. You've unloaded at the man with your trusty revolver. It was like boom, boom, boom. You fired 3 shots. The man flew back. His chest, just stitched with bullets. He fell on an old chair. He's like, the small revolver. It's like a 38, honestly. You see, it just fell to the ground. The man is just looking at you. He's coughing up a lot of blood. His chest is cratered, and both you and Alison see that these wounds are probably fatal. But you see that he once again, weakly, gets his hand up and begins to form the strange, gestures with his fingers, with his trembling fingers. And you see that even though this man is dying, the light of fanaticism in his eyes burns ever brighter, together with hatred. He's like, please, you and Alison, what are you doing?
I rush in, kick away the gun.
The gun is like a meter in front of him.
Oh, okay. So I basically rush over and start to cuff him.
You rush over.
Just to stop his movement.
When you when you grab him by the wrist, the wrist goes limp. He goes limp. He just looks at you, but his eyes are glassy. He sees no more.
Allison, medical.
The pool of blood gathering under his legs. The blood is just seeping through his shirt, through his trousers. It's pooling right under his feet. He also soiled himself. The stench is horrible, together with the smell of Wei's vomit. We've exited combat, by the way. But I will need one more roll from both of you, not from Wei, because he is
'Cause I'm puking.
unaware what's happening. Yes. So in the case of Juan, please roll.
Sanity, right?
Yeah, just roll Santi. Okay, you failed. In that case, you lose only one. And you, Alison, also roll
Sanity.
sanity. Yes. This doesn't phase you at all. It's probably a bit worrying that
Actually, like the smell.
that
No,
that the dead man is essentially, you don't give a flying fart about him, but yeah,
No, but Allison, she has seen worse, I think.
yeah, that's
The
that's
monsters from the river and
yes, that's why
her colleagues dying.
yeah, that's why this doesn't phase her. You rush inside, I presume, Alison.
Yep.
All right. The man is dead. Benjamin Hale is dead. Behind you, you hear Wei removing the last remains of his breakfast from his stomach, and then you hear him just whimpering. Like,
Oh, please, what happened?
Wei, you can feel like acid in your throat. You can feel blood in your throat. You are pretty sure that you've strained something within your stomach because you've vomited so hard. Your head is pounding like you have a hive of bees inside. You can't even move your legs.
I can't feel my legs.
Yeah. Right. So we've exited combat. Please, what are you doing?
Medical attention.
Also, can you check
I'm
Wei?
not very good at the medical attention.
Neither am I.
What about you?
Yeah. So.
So yeah. Would that
Yeah,
be?
well,
Are we
I
talking
can-
first aid
Yeah,
or
I
medicine?
No. I have the base 10 in first aid.
Right, I will check.
For
Wei
crying
Shen
out loud.
and Allison. You secure the evidence at the site, Allison.
You can
Please proceed.
hear people screaming from other apartments.
We got to be quick about it. I look over it. I try to do something with Wei Shan. First aid if able.
You have first aid?
Yeah,
Roll.
there we go. No.
No.
Oh, wait, what?
Yeah, you've rolled 68 and you have 30. So
Hey.
yeah, you are trying to help him, but you don't really know how. The quickest thing that you can that you believe would help him would just to bring him some water, possibly.
Alright.
By the way, Hale's apartment is very small. It mainly consists of this main room, living room, in which he also slept on the couch. Apparently, there's a small table, and there's a very strange statue sitting on the table, together with some papers. Actually, papers. There are dozens of notebooks on the table, and there's a laptop. You know that to sift through the notebooks would take you hours, essentially.
Snatch and run, y'all.
But you can also use luck if you wish. You can roll luck.
We just gotta grab everything and go.
You won't be able to grab everything. Like I said, there are dozens of notebooks. You would need to have industrial bags, like those that can be found in IKEA, to the large blue and yellow bags to just fit everything here.
Were there a computer?
Yes, like I said, there's the laptop. The laptop is open, by the way. The man was actually, you believe that he was using it when you've bothered him.
So take the laptop.
Okay.
We need to grab a few books at random as well, I think. So yeah, let's go for luck. Let's see how many books we can carry.
Okay.
You have like a bag or something we can put stuff in?
Yes. You roll for luck, please. Oh, by the way, the statue on the desk. It looks the closest the closest analogy that you can fit is a large hairy frog. Large hairy frog with horns and pointy ears. It's made from stone, you believe? Perhaps, you're not sure. It's rather disturbing to look at. You can roll Mythos if you wish. All of you.
First?
Yeah, you can roll Occult. I mean, Occult.
It's unnatural, is it? Or occult?
Yeah. Wait. Unnatural. Sorry. Yeah, unnatural.
I have 0.
Why not occult?
I think it's because occult is the non-mythos part of things. So
Mainly,
if it's mythos, you roll a natural.
So I believe that
Alright.
Alison can roll. You only have 0 for Alison?
I have 0 and unnatural also. So
Okay.
You always start at 0 in a natural, and you can't spec into it when you create your characters. Everyone starts at 0.
Yeah.
I have gotten 4 points, so
Oh.
I have 4.
Okay. Yeah, I remember about the 0 part. I just thought that you had higher unnatural because you've actually saw a few things. Okay. Yeah, well, in that case, you don't really know what it is. The statue is small enough. It's the size of a large hand. You can probably pack it up with you if you wish so, of course.
Alright, here comes the luck roll. That's just a D100, right?
Yeah. 150, you've passed. Well, fortunately, you can't really batch with luck roll. No, you can't really find a big bag here.
I take a couple of big towels from his bathroom.
Okay.
Just make him into a pile and just throw things in and carry him off.
Okay. But what are you packing in the towels? The book?
As many random books as I can fit into 3 towels. So I guess each one of us will carry one of those parcels.
Okay. What about the rest of you? Alison?
I'll also check the book, see if we can carry more.
Okay. Is anyone?
I believe that's...
Yeah. So you are also taking a bunch of books with the towels, sure. What about the laptop? Is anyone taking the laptop?
I take the laptop and the statue.
Okay. You take the
The
laptop.
statue as well.
Okay. I see that way disconnected.
Yeah, I pressed the wrong button.
Oh, okay. You're back again.
Fell out.
Right. So you've grabbed this. You've grabbed, well, whatever you could, and where to now? You can hear that there's a rather large commotion in the apartments, in all of the apartments of this building.
But should we check some of the apartment, because what he did to me, maybe some other people got affected by the chanting. Or should we just run the F out of here?
If we stay, we're gonna answer to the cops, right? But we are cops, so we can. It's gonna be hard to claim self-defense. He never fired at us.
So we should
Sure.
just escape.
Yes. That said, all of you know, and you don't even have to roll, that it is possible to actually, make it look like he did fire on you.
Yeah, but still, it's not our jurisdiction, and we have to explain why we were here and stuff like that.
That's true. That's actually
Yeah.
true enough. And it would be especially bad for Alison, given her line of work.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So grab the stuff, and you
We gotta
just
go.
run
Right.
outside. You just trying to like disappear in like in the streets of Edmonton.
We have the car
Edmond,
downstairs, so
sorry.
we're just gonna try to sneak as. No, we didn't have a car.
You didn't have a car.
Really?
You've arrived by a bus, by a
That's right,
Greyhound.
and we didn't rent a car. So no, we're just gonna have to sneak off somewhere, leave the streets as soon as possible, like into a park or something.
Okay, sure. Like I've said. Oh, by the way, Way is rather weak.
He's always been that way.
I'm trembling, guys.
Yeah, you see that if it would come to it, and you would have to run, Way would have big problems.
That's good for us, ain't it?
Well, you know. So
1 out of 3.
yeah.
All right.
So my question is, so you're just running outside and as far away from the building as possible, right?
Try to keep it discreet. So walking whenever someone's looking.
Okay.
Couldn't we just like get out on the street and enter a taxi or something? And
This is a very small town. Like you're not even
yeah,
sure if they have taxis here. They probably have. Well,
then
more
we could steal a bike and just no.
yeah, more
A
like
bike?
more like Ubers, honestly. Not taxis, Ubers. So right. So we go outside.
That's gonna raise a lot more suspicion. Now we just walk away.
Yeah. You go outside, and now just let me quickly roll. You go outside, and you see that on the balcony outside, because like I said before, this is an apartment building where you enter the apartments from the there are no corridors inside. Everything is outside, on the outside of the building. I don't know if you guys know this kind of buildings. They are rather popular in the States, especially in the small towns, like in motels, stuff like that. Like you have
So like two-story houses with balconies.
yes,
Outside
exactly.
the doors.
Yeah.
Like a hallway of balconies.
Exactly that. So when you enter, when you exit the building, carrying the stuff, there are already people on the balcony, and they're just like, "Oh! There are, thieves, murderers, stuff like that. Call police! Someone call the police!"
Juan, carry me. Let's run.
Now, my question is, what
Excellent.
are you doing? No one is trying to stop you. These are mainly older people, older middle-aged people, women, and a few men. That said, you can hear sirens in the distance, and since this is a small town, the distance is not very far away.
I support Shen, and we try to get out of here.
All right, you just get out of here. You hurry up to the stairs. You go down, and you try and
And
disappear.
move away from the street as soon as possible.
Okay, you try and disappear, like in the maze of small of the small streets of Edmond, which fortunately you've managed to accomplish. After like few minutes, you've taken a stop in a small side alley between two short buildings. Wei is just panting, and you see that he also there's vomit on the front of his shirt. Well, his jacket, his shirt. He's very pale looking and very weak. That said, you can hear police sirens in the distance, but they're not getting closer to you. At least, not now, not yet.
We gotta get somewhere and lie low.
Maybe we could take in a motel or something.
That's a bit too stationary, isn't it? Like, we ought to get a diner or something, and then somebody needs to go get us some clothes so we can have a change of clothes.
Yeah, we could look up a diner.
Or like a movie theater, if they have that.
Yeah, you're pretty sure that they have. Alison,
Be a good
what
thing.
about you?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, so, right, so you are just... For now, you are standing in the small alley, just wondering what to do next.
Yeah.
We'll look around and see if there's like a cafe or something we can pop into, just somewhere to get off the streets.
Yeah, sure, there is, of course.
All right, let's go in and just sit down by a table so we don't run.
All right.
Yeah.
Are you trying to do anything with Wei? Because the way he is, it would be it would be rather hard for him to get to be allowed into a cafe. He stinks of vomit, is what I'm trying to say,
Yeah.
and he's soiled. Fortunately, only the front of his clothes.
Do you like toss away your t-shirt and just pull the jacket up to look okay?
Yeah, so I take off my jacket and take off my t-shirt and throw it in a dumpster and close my jacket
Oh, okay.
around myself.
That way. All right, sure.
Yeah.
Now it's all better. You can
Should
still
work for a little while at least.
Yeah, you can still smell his acidic breath, but at least he looks much better now. So with
All
that,
right.
with that, you are making your way to the nearest cafe.
Yeah.
Very well. You are crossing the small street. Oh, there are almost no cars right now. It's still very early, and like I said, this is a small town, so there's this aura and feel of laziness, of just easygoing. Like, people are not hurrying in any way. Everyone's just chilling. You're entering the cafe. There are a few patrons, mainly truck drivers and a couple of locals. This is your typical US diner. So there are rows of tables and high back chairs. There's a long counter, and behind the counter you can see all sorts of goodies, pies, like frozen lattes, cocktails, stuff like that.
I think we wanna get a table. We don't want to sit by the counter.
Okay.
And yeah, Allison and Shen, what do you think? I think maybe if me and Shen stay here and Allison goes to get some more clothes for us and perhaps some bags.
Absolutely.
Just winging it here. If anybody else has any ideas, let's hear them.
Couldn't we contact our informant and maybe send a picture of the statue or something?
Yeah, good idea.
I would like to know how dire of a thing it is. Or dangerous thing.
Okay. You can certainly do that. You take a seat at the table, and of course, very quickly, another waitress approaches you, and she's like, "Welcome to Jim's diner. How can I help you, my dear people?"
Jim's Diner.
Yeah.
It's my diner. Yeah.
It's my diner, and I order if I want to.
She looks expectantly at you.
Black and a piece of pecan pie.
Very well. For you, sweetie. She looks at you, Alison.
I'll just take a coffee.
And you, sir? And she looks with a bit of skepticism at you, Wei.
An iced coffee and a big piece of apple pie, please.
Very well. She goes back behind the counter to prepare your order. So, you know that you are all essentially running against the clock. The cops are probably already on the scene, and the people will give their testimonies. You all are pretty characteristic. An Asian guy, a Latino, and a tall blonde. So my question is now, what is your next course of action? Think carefully, and let me know.
Could we like meta plan this?
Yeah, sure. You can meta plan this without any problems.
We don't need to meta plan actually. We can speak as characters, I think. Shouldn't we?
Yeah, we could. But the thing is, I think we should send off a picture of the statue and maybe inform what happened to the gentleman. Yes, the chanting man. And shouldn't the police should soon be arriving?
The police.
I think.
The police is probably already there.
Okay. Yep.
I'm just thinking that it's not our first priority. Our first priority is to get safe. We can set a picture and stuff like that. No?
Yeah.
Just remember that technically speaking, of course, Alison is still your commanding officer, or like she has, as you call it, operational control.
So what do you say, OC?
I think we should send a picture so we can see what we have to deal with.
All right.
It seems like we're just like grasping for nothing when we don't know what we're dealing with.
Very well. So you're taking out the smartphone, one of you. I presume it's Alison. And you're taking a photo, and you are sending it to your control officer. Correct?
Correct.
All right. Remember that you also have like quite a few notebooks, and you still carry the laptop.
Yeah.
Which is still on. The screensaver has not yet activated, so you can still check it out if you wish so.
Somebody should remove the password.
It hasn't been passworded. That's the thing.
Okay, yeah, I'm just thinking, but if the screensaver comes on later, we should delete the password, or so it can turn off and so on.
Well, okay, sure, yeah.
If we need to turn it off. That's just basic thought. But no, I'm thinking we need to get out of here as soon as possible, don't we? Guys? We need to split out and get out of here?
I think splitting up would be a bad idea, but I think we could. We need to find some place to lay low.
Yeah, I agree.
So, Alison, what do you think should be a good place to hide? Do you have any experience in this sort of thing?
Not really in this kind of area, though.
Maybe at home. Me and my brother used to like enter some kind of bar, and there was a cubicle. You could hire a drinking room, I suppose. Maybe we could find a bar with a drinking room.
Do you think that somebody just, if they ask, have you seen like an Asian, a Mexican, and a blonde girl? Yeah, they were there.
It's
We're all
2019.
together.
I hope so.
Well, not in Edmonton, not in.
Not in Edmond, it's
Yeah,
not.
that's true. So far you've mainly saw white people here. This is Montana we are talking about.
Fuck.
People here like have 3 teeth they pass around.
Yeah. Not to sound prejudiced, but you guys, except for Alison, kind of stand out. That's one of the problems when you have when you run an operation like that. It's sometimes hard to fit in, but then again, for example, it would be probably hard for all of you to fit in, like, I don't know, Pakistan, if you would be sent there. Right. So, is anyone checking the notes or the laptop?
I can check the laptop.
Okay.
I'll
You
go
check
through the
notes.
books then.
okay?
Yeah. Me too.
So in that case, books, roll me a luck.
Books, luck, coming up. There we go.
You've passed. Congratulations.
Where is luck on the sheet?
There's no.
You just roll a d100.
You just roll the 100. Yeah. And it's 150. It's either yes or no. You've either passed or not. That's how luck rolls. It's just a 50-50 chance of you passing the roll or not.
Yeah,
No way.
I
You
guess.
didn't have to roll. Because I believe
Oh, okay.
only Juan told that he's checking the books. Oh, by the way, the waitress brought you your food. When you've smelled the food and the drink, you once again nearly retched. Yep, only water for you. And you need a lot of water, by the way. You can feel it.
I order a big water from her.
All right. She just nods and tells you that she will bring you a jug of water.
Thank you.
I presume still water, not sparkling, my dear.
No, still water.
Right,
Please.
Yes, I know.
Still
I know how this works. Don't worry.
Yeah, a little hungover.
Yeah. She presumed that you've just that you're stinking drunk. All right. Anyway, Juan, you were fortunate. You've grabbed probably the most fresh of the notebooks, and you've quickly find an entry that essentially describes a translation of a Russian priest's diary, which mentions the icon.
Oh,
By the way, Hale was completely insane. His notes are ramblings. The man was just, he was irrevocably mad. That said, you can make some sense of it, and Hale believed that the icon holds a powerful being and is not a way to contact Rasputin. It's a prison of sorts.
okay.
Meanwhile, Alison, you check the laptop. Hale had his email open, and you can see that the topmost email is from Timeless Treasures.
Oh,
You open it.
yes.
All right. It contains a receipt and tracking number, and there's this like a small annotation made in Windows 10 on like this digital sticky note to the side.
Yep.
And it says that the tracking number shows that it was delivered to PO Box 5 days prior and was picked up the same day. And a printout of the tracking data is also present with the delivered notification circled in red with question marks surrounding it. There's also a recorded voicemail.
Yeah.
You can see that it's from S. Freckley, P.O. Edmonton. Or Edmond, I believe actually it's called. I'm clearly very good at this. Edmond, not Edmonton. I don't know why they call this Edmonton. Edmond.
It was probably because of me.
Okay. Are you?
Okay, so a voicemail from S. Freckley.
Yeah, from you. Guess that it's Susan Freckley.
Susan.
Yeah, the manager. You listen to the voicemail.
Yes.
Long story short, Freckley states that she left a message for the postal employee, Harold Nixon, who marked his missing package, Hale's missing package, as delivered, and will let him know when Harold responds. It's quiet.
Lizard people.
Okay, so
Yeah.
oh, I'm sorry. I work at the post office. I don't understand why they will do that. So whatever.
Okay.
Well, I guess all of us could hear it, right?
Yeah. You, I
Alright.
mean, you probably didn't run it in full volume for all the diner to hear, just for you. But all of you guys heard what I've said. Freckley told you. Freckley sent Hale a message that Harold Nixon marked his missing package as delivered, and she will let him know when Harold responds. You also remember that when you were at the post office, Susan and one of her
Yeah.
employees, they had a lot of work on their hands because someone didn't came to work.
Yeah. We need to talk to this Harold Nixon.
Yeah, to Mr. Nixon.
And maybe to Susan as well. To find him.
Yeah. We need to. Can I search the computer for or my phone or anything about information about this Harold Nixon, like an address or whatever?
You can, but first your phone rings.
Okay.
Doop 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 doop.
This is your from your control officer.
Yeah.
Alison, I've got your photo. All right. Listen to me.
Any ideas?
Yeah, I know what it is. I need you to secure this thing and everything else that was connected to it. I've listened to the chatter on the lines, and half of Edmond PD essentially wants to find you, but don't worry, we are working so that you guys will have a clear run through this. Essentially, what we are doing is, saying that there is a cover up from the federal Bureau of Investigation. Before they'll check it out, you have at least a few hours to do what needs to be done. Find the icon, collect all the evidence, and then leave Edmond. For now, stay put. In less than half an hour, you should be clear to move through the town as you please, at least for some time.
We need to wait here for half an hour.
You need to wait somewhere where they won't find you, they won't cuff you, and they won't ask you any questions. Like I said, we are doing what we can, but there's been a dead guy shot to shit in his apartment with a magnum, apparently, and 3 very distinctive suspects leaving the site carrying a lot of shit. Oh, and there's there's a lot of genetic material left on the place, right on the side of the crime. Don't worry, we can fix this later.
Don't leave any DNA.
A lot of DNA.
I would just like to ask if you and your men are safe for now.
But Joanna, ask him about the statue, what it actually is, so we don't go in all blinded, like every other time.
Miss
Yeah.
Steele?
So. Yep. The statue. What do you know about it?
Look, the statue is... it's a representation of a certain entity. But the thing is...
A certain entity, like in.
Look, it's strange. It shouldn't be in any way connected to the icon, which can be used to contact Rasputin. It's a statue of a being called Xathrodox. I'll explain everything when you go back. Like I said, this is rather perplexing.
Can I just interject here? Even though he was kind of crazy, this guy Hale, he had a diary here from some Russian priest writing about the icon.
You have his diary. You can hear the man on the others, and essentially just doing something like this.
Yeah. It says it doesn't have anything to do with Rasputin. It's like a prison for another being. Could be this thing.
Yeah, agreed.
If it's it can be for this thing. First of all, it doesn't act like that. All right. Tell you what. I know this will sound pretty cliche, but I need you to be extremely careful. For what it's worth, I'm pretty sure that the icon is not a prison for Xathrodox. It can, however, house something else. Anyway, priorities. First of all, stay put. Second of all, get all the evidence that you've collected safe somewhere. I don't know, a locker, a sewer, a dumpster which is out of sight. I will need you to get it back. Everything. Especially this man's diaries and that statue. And the icon, if you can find it.
Yeah, we have a lead on the icon.
Could you give us like a pickup site or some place where he will meet us?
That's it's not that easy, I'm afraid. After that operation in New York, the last one, the higher ups are reluctant to just to send cavalry. I'm afraid that you have to find a way to extract yourselves by yourselves. I will try and help you if I can, but for now, assume that you're on your own. Sorry, no F-35 this time.
Boom, boom.
Yeah.
Well.
That said,
So I think sewers. I just clicked myself out of the game again.
You would.
that said, concentrate on staying alive and on staying in the game. Right, I'll call you back in a few minutes when I'll get the clearance for you to operate without any problems.
Yeah, thank you.
Stay put. And he disconnected.
Okay, guys, so we stay here until we get the clearance from him. Then we'll leave the evidence we have. Where? Any suggestions? Sewers? Really?
Actually, a bad idea. Nobody goes down in the sewers, right?
Oh, that's true. So, sewers, then?
Yes, agreed.
Or why not just a locker at the bus station?
A locker?
Like a prepaid locker. You just throw some money in it, throw everything in, you get a key. It's totally anonymous. It's totally impossible to trace.
Yeah, but we would need to hide first, then locker.
Yeah, but the sewers is kind of impractical with book. You know,
Yeah.
sewers are kind of wet.
But maybe hiding in plain sight. But we need disguises if we are going to the bus stop or the train station or whatever.
He said after waiting for half an hour, we should be clear. We're not going to be pursued by the law.
Okay, so could we maybe wait here for half an hour?
I mean, if we just wait here, stay cool, then after that we should like drop the evidence off, maybe in a locker, and then we should just focus on staying alive. Staying alive. Think we could focus on the icon later.
Yeah, agreed.
Is that a plan?
Yeah, sure. It's
Yes.
a plan.
What do we do if we're sitting here and a cop comes in before the half hour?
Kill everyone?
Was a good plan.
No? no, I mean, if someone enters, could I check if there's an exit,
If police comes into this,
like a back door we could run out?
then we go to the toilet.
Yeah, and in the toilet there are always windows because of the movies. There's always windows in the movies, so we could jump out a window and just run for it.
No running. That's suspicious.
All right, I'll start
Okay.
out.
Crawl.
I'll go check the bathroom first of all. So I'm just gonna go and see if there's a window in the bathroom.
Alright, you go to the bathroom. There is indeed a window in the bathroom.
I'm
It's
gonna send-
it's very small.
we be able to squeeze out of it?
No.
Pretty please.
No. No, like
Yeah.
seriously, maybe a very small child would be able to squeeze through it, but you wouldn't. And by the way, like the front diner, is rather pleasant. It's fairly clean, you know. Probably the health inspector wouldn't be too anal about it, but the bathroom, oh man, let me tell you, it's a magical place.
I'm gonna send a little secret message to the SL in Discord.
Yeah,
There you go.
like yes, well,
All right. No,
But I mean,
there's no one.
Juan, you always act like a child, so maybe you could climb through the window.
Look,
No
I wouldn't
humor?
be up
No.
on my high horse now, Mr. Puke. We're the one going all exorcist on us.
Nobody likes a comedian, I guess. Okay, but back to the point.
We run out of the kitchen. Is there a way? There should be a way through the kitchen. They need to have two exits.
they must have so.
you guess that probably there is a way through the kitchen, since in most restaurants, you know, when there's a delivery, it goes through the back. That said,
Yes,
you also
this is
know
the way.
that it's probably rather unwise for you to just enter the kitchen because it's illegal.
Yeah, and it's
And
kind
no-
of conspicuous as well.
Yeah, and no one does that. So yeah, so that's that.
But we should just lay low here, and if someone enters, we'll improvise. Because that's our thing.
Okay.
I guess.
Because we make such good snap judgments.
Yes.
Well, didn't Juan kill? No, it wasn't Juan. Your last character killed a cop.
But this is Juan.
Oh yes.
Juan has different
Super.
moral values.
Yeah. Okay. So it wasn't Rasta Blasta.
No, it was
No.
Rasta Blasta. No. Rasta Blasta was shooting first, and well, shooting first.
It was
Shooting
blasting
first and then just shooting more.
Yeah, shooting more. You can never shoot too much. Right. Anyway, fortunately, after like 10 minutes, Alison, your phone once again rings. Ring, ring, ring. Alison, good news. You have at least 2 hours, maybe more, before Edmond PD will try and check your credentials.
Okay.
That said, you need to hurry. Find the icon, get it back, together with the rest of the stuff. You should be in the clear now. So I'm still working on that extraction thing. I will keep you posted.
Cool. So we gotta
Okay.
move.
Cool.
Right. Over and out.
Over and out. Thank you.
Do we have an address for the Nixon guy?
No,
No.
not yet. By the way, Alison, you were like you've tried to find his address, but you weren't able to.
Okay, then we need to go back to Susan Freckley and the post office.
Yeah.
See if like she needs to have the address on her employee.
Exactly.
All right. So
The plan is we just basically go get the address, go to Nixon, and try to get the icon from him because we're pretty sure he has it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But should we leave the book somewhere?
the books,
statue.
the laptop, the statue. The
should.
statue, except for the fact that it's incredibly ugly. I mean, it portrays just an ugly creature. You don't really feel anything sinister like emanating from it. It's rather unpleasant to look at, but mainly because it portrays a hairy frog.
A hairy frog.
Yeah, it's
Looks like
a
me.
large creature resembling a hairy, bloated toad with long teeth, long horns, and long pointy ears.
So maybe we should go to the bus station and find a locker, or the train station, and find a locker and place everything there. We get the key, bada bing, bada boom. We go over to the postal office.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
we just store it in our car.
You don't
We
have
don't
a car.
have car.
We don't have a...
We took the bus here. We're old school.
What idiots take the bus?
Yep.
Yeah, well,
These
Yeah.
3 idiots.
Call for some more coffee. I'll be back very briefly.
okay. Yeah, I'm also going to pour myself some water. I'll be back in a sec. Okay.
Alright.
Cool.
Yeah, and so will I.
Oh, everyone just leave me.
You bastard.
What is what? Who is what?
Get back. It's kind of quiet here.
Huh?
You just left.
Everyone left me.
Okej. Vad händer för något?
Jag är alldeles ensam här.
Kallt och det är mörkt.
Hallå, ja.
Hallå? Hallå?
Det är
Hallå?
kallt och mörkt och jag är ensam och övergiven.
Vad har jag hamnat i?
Jag bara såhär, jag springer och hämtar lite kallt kaffe liksom och så när jag kommer tillbaka så är jag helt tyst här. Jag bara okej.
I was away getting drink, you know.
Och get him den drink.
Lite som vår goda SL där.
Jag tror att vi snart borde köra lite Call of Cthulhu.
Kolla av Klutlu!
Klart!
Ja. Jag har technically ett mission klart som jag har kört med min andra grupp. Så att vi ska bara bestämma en dag. Men,
ursäkta, sa du att det var begagnat?
Nej. Det var en mission. Vi ska bestämma en dag. Min skånska må vara vacker och väldigt oemotståndlig, men inte svårförstådd.
Oh my god.
Jim.
Som en drogtripp.
Som en hård drogtripp.
Fast det bästa, det är faktiskt när du pratar göteborgska. Alltså...
Göteborgska du! Ja men det är fint vet du.
Alltså...
Har jag gjort det med dig? Nej.
Jo.
När då? Lite för ofta kanske.
Oavsett när så alldeles för ofta.
Gjorde jag det när vi var i Göteborg? Nej.
Jo.
Åh nej. Varför sa du inget?
Det är jätteroligt ju. Alltså, som jag skrattar.
Ja fast jag kan inte hejda mig. Det är det som är problemet. Det har ju hänt en gång när vi hade folk i kyrkan som var från Göteborg, musiker. Och jag började prata göteborgska med dem och försökte bortförklara mig. Ja men vi spelar ju dödsmetall och Göteborgs sound. Och nej det gick inte. Som jag skämdes den gången. Jag bara råkade bara, men då skulle vi vilja lämna in våra körjournaler till dig. Och jag bara, jajamensan det ska vi fixa vet du. Jag tog läppar och bara, hör jag mig själv, jag bara nej. Och de, nej fy fan, nej det var inte kul. Shit.
Jag brukar störa mig på jobbet. Helt plötsligt så hade vi en ny elev och han var finlandssvensk. När han ringde upp till kontrollen och skulle begära en klarering så började han ju sådär. Ja, det var skavstationet här. Då har vi Ryanair, bla bla bla. Snubben på andra sidan, han trodde att det var jag som dummade mig. Så han började svara i samma dialekt.
Nej!
Det mottogs inte heller så bra.
Åh gud, jag har en klasskamrat.
Men ja.
På fritidsledaren som var från Gotland. Sjukt bred dialekt. Och han körde på en älg på vägen hem från fritidsgården. Kvaddade sin bil och han ringde in och anmälde det så trodde de att han drev så de skickade ingen.
Nej.
Jo. Helt sjukt. Så när vi kom ut på morgonen stod hans bil demolerad där på parkeringen för han kunde fortfarande köra den i typ 30-40 kilometer eller något. Och han var ganska nära skolan. Den låg ju ute på vischan liksom. Och vi bara, Simon, vad har hänt? Och han var ju i chock ju, så han bara, jag kör på en älg och sånt liksom. Wow. Men de skickar ingen, kan ni fatta? De skickar ingen. Oh, shit. Det var helt sjukt. De trodde han drev.
Just.
I'm back.
Eller
You've been back for a little while.
Well, didn't want to like interrupt.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. You're coming back to like a ton of Swedish and evil laughter. Like...
Yeah, it's like
we were talking about old memories from when I was at school, and one of my comrades, he drove right into a moose.
Oh man.
And he had a very, very special dialect from one of the islands outside of Sweden. So when he called it in, nobody believed him, so they didn't send help. Because they thought it was a joke. Well, so we were talking about dialects.
Oh, wow. Okay. Poor Moose.
Yeah, poor Moose and poor Simon.
Yeah, but he was fine, right?
Yeah, it was fine.
Oh, that's
Not the Moose.
Yeah, the Moose probably wasn't. Well, a friend of mine who's working in a forest in Poland, he's a forester, once tripped over a sleeping moose. And both he and the moose were really surprised.
And they ran
the
different
bad
ways.
Well, the moose was cool, you know. He was like, "Huh?"
Easier trip over something that weighs a ton.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, I
Fortunately,
tripped over a car.
fortunately, it wasn't aggressive, so you know that's a good thing.
That's good.
Yeah. All right, we are back. I believe it's like a noon, perhaps. You know, it's very early, and you've already had a lot on your hands, but you've managed to prevail. You still have few hours to do what's necessary. So I guess that you pay the bill at the diner,
Yep.
and then just move out towards the bus station.
You guys
Yeah.
go you guys go to the post office and squeeze Susan for Nixon's address. I can handle the bus station.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that
Sure.
sounds like a good idea.
Right,
Okay.
cool.
Wei, I believe you go to the bus station, right?
So
No,
Juan goes to the
Juan,
bus station,
sorry,
and the
Juan.
other guys go
Okay.
to the post.
Yeah. So Juan, you get the stuff. You get all the notebooks. You take the laptop. You take the strange statue of Xathoga, and you go to the bus station. It's like I said, it's not far from the post office. You just quickly rent a locker for like probably half a day, right?
Yeah,
It's
something like that.
yeah, it's not it's not expensive like at all. You drop all the stuff inside, including the weird statue and I guess the laptop, and
Mhm.
then you move back to the post office. Meanwhile, you enter the post office, and it's still like a pandemonium in there, just like you've remembered it. Lots of people there, lots of angry people demanding to that they receive their packages. You can see Susan Freckley and Mitchell just being completely over their heads. How do you want to do this? Is my question.
So they're basically like chaos in there.
Yeah, because there are only
Yeah.
2 postal workers and a lot of angry Edmond citizens who are like really disgruntled.
Yeah. Should we try to find this Susan and
You see
Yeah, we could
Susan and
see
Mitchell.
her.
Yeah.
we could see her? Should we speak to
Maybe
her
we
and like say
Yeah.
we're from the police and we would like to ask her some questions about yada yada,
All
get
the
the information
packages
about.
disappearing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, let's
So
do
we
that.
could like flash badges really quick.
Okay. You approach Susan Frackley, who looks at you, and she's like, you can see that she's almost in amok. Oh, hello there. As you can see, we have a lot of people to deal with. How can I help you? She asks this, in a way that she doesn't really want to help you. She just wants to return to her work and be done with it. Well, I'm sorry. You can see that I have a lot
Yeah,
to do.
sorry. We're from the police, and I flash my badge really quickly, and
Yes.
we are here about some of the missing packages. We heard it's been quite a commotion about that.
Yes. Yeah, it has been. Yes. I think I've told you that before. No matter. How can I help you?
We're actually about to investigate a lead about Mr. Nixon.
Harold Nixon?
Harold Nixon, and we couldn't find his address on the web, but we thought maybe you would know, because of the post.
Yes. Well, I can't contact Harold for some time now. Unfortunately, she's Harold has been unavailable for some time. That's a problem. Let me tell you. Right. So
Yeah, of course.
I can give you the address because Harold hasn't shown up for work in the last few days. Anyone has any of you has psychology?
Maybe.
Okay.
Let me check. Psychology.
So, like persuade or
I have like psychotherapy, but that's not really it.
Persuade would be better probably.
okay, then I can do it.
Roll. It's.
I have 16 persuade.
You've passed. It was an easy roll. You saw, Alison, that when she mentioned that Nixon hasn't arrived in a few days, that she's actually relieved.
So, okay, I am asking Susan, do you have any other thoughts about Nixon that we should know about? Has, say, he, for example, been acting weird here at work?
You see
What
that.
kind of character is he?
You see that Susan looks at you. You know, she bites her lip. She looks like she's rather unsure of herself. Look, Nixon has been moody the last few months, and he had frequent near-violent outbursts. And I've also think that I suspect that Nixon was stealing packages, and that's what all this what all this is about. And she points towards the long line of angry people. I was actually about to fire him. That said, I haven't. He hasn't been at work for a few days, and me and Mitchell we have a lot to do, and we don't want to face a sudden inspection, if you know what I mean. So we didn't really had neither the time nor the inclination to look for Harold. I can tell you where he lives. You can go there and ask him questions if you want.
Yes, please. If you just
Yes,
provide
please.
an address for us, we'll help you out.
Very well.
Are you even there?
What?
Should be now.
I'm- Yeah, Juan. I meant he was at the bus stop.
Juan is not back yet, unfortunately.
Okay.
That said, she gave you his address. He lives 15 minutes away from the post office, and she tells you that he lives in a small brick house.
I thank her for the information, and I guess we'll leave and
Yeah,
meet
you,
up
you
with
see
Juan.
that she quickly returns to work. She has to, essentially. So you leave. And outside you can see that Juan is approaching you from the direction of the bus stop.
Hey, guys.
Hello. Was it successful? The drop off?
Yeah, of course. I just threw him
Good,
in the locker.
Good.
All right. What'd you find out?
We actually got some information from Susan that this Harold guy has been acting really strange. Actually, been stealing some packages and had some outbursts, and even became violent at some point. And she was about to get him fired, actually. But he hasn't been.
Did we get an address?
Yeah, we got an address, and he hasn't been in for work for a few days, so we could expect trouble, I think.
All right. Let's check his place out then.
Okay. Alison, you're cool with that?
Yep.
Okay. So you move towards the place of Harold Nixon. He indeed lives about 15 minutes from the post office. There's a small brick house standing there, a bit far away from other buildings. The door is closed, of course. You can see that. Well, I mean, the weather is very nice and it's light outside, so you don't really see if there's any light inside, like if the lamps are on or stuff like that. But you see that there is no one outside the house. The place looks, well, empty. How do you want to do this? Is my question, of course.
Let's coordinate a breach. Should one of us go around back?
Sorry, once again.
I was just thinking one of us should go around back in case he starts to run.
Yeah, I could go to the back and be ready.
Okay, cool.
And I wanders off. Do-do-do-do.
Okay.
Awesome. How do you want to handle this?
Alison?
Yeah, well, I guess we're trying to get in.
Okay.
Should we knock or should we breach?
We can try knocking.
Okay, so we basically move up to the front door. I'll let the boss woman do the talking.
Okay.
Okay.
You approach the simple door leading inside the house. There's no name plaque. There's no, there's not even a house number. This building is rather old and in a pretty decrepit state. It's not a ruin, but it's also, it also hasn't been like cared for in quite some time. Alison, you knock at the door. There's no, there's no callback. You don't hear anyone moving inside. It's quiet. Yeah. Nothing is happening. You don't think that anyone is home.
Okay, then let's try to get the door open then.
Pick the lock.
We have a pick a lock. What kind of skill is that?
Lock picking. Ooh, that's by the way, do you have anything to pick the lock with? That's my question.
Oh, we don't.
Yeah, that's the main
All
thing.
right.
You would need to have a set of lockpicks to actually do this, or
Of course.
at the very least, have some kind of long wire.
Or a bobby pin.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Alison probably has something in her hair that could be used.
I can always kick the door in.
But
yeah.
in the US, you could sometimes use a credit card to open doors.
Yeah. Sometimes you probably could.
So you could try, but I guess this is not the case. I'm not even there. Sorry.
No. Yeah, you're on the back. You're out the back. However, there's no back entrance.
Well.
Yeah.
Surprise.
Surprise!
Surprise, motherfucker.
Scratch that idea. Unfortunately, it's a dexterity roll, by the way. In this case.
Then I guess I will go back to my colleagues.
Okay, sure. You go back to your colleagues. They are standing in front of the door. How do you want to do this? Do you want to kick the door open? Do you want to use a lockpick?
Have a bobby pin, and do you want me to try, or should I just break it down?
Just break it down.
Right, I'm gonna kick the door in.
Okay, you don't even have to roll this time. You kick the door in. It's a second pair of doors that has been kicked in Edmond today.
I missed the first one, so I get to make it up for it.
Yeah. The door falls inside. I mean, at this point, I don't even need to ask if you guys have your weapons out. I presume that you do. First,
Yes.
draw your weapons and then kick the door, not the other way around. So you move inside with your weapons drawn. Inside is a mess place. Harold Nixon was clearly not a very sanitary, hygienic man. There's mold in places. There's this, odor of unwashed, like perspirated body, sweaty body. There are empty packs, empty food packets strewn all over the place, empty beer bottles, stuff like that. And you can also see that there's a PC inside. The PC is on, by the way.
Need to secure the place first, I think.
Yeah, you've secured the place. Like, he's not here. No one is here.
Let's scope the place out.
You check the place out, I presume, all of you.
Yeah.
I start searching for suspicious stuff.
So what you found was a number of open mail packages containing a variety of items. You found printed sales receipts from eBay for a number of other expensive items dating back 6 months. You found this in a desk drawer. You found photos of Mitchell and Susan from the post office with their faces blacked out. And you found an empty gun safe in the back of his closet with an empty box of shotgun slugs.
He's gone to the post office.
Yeah.
He's gotta
He's
go
gone
postal.
postal.
Yes. Good. You've also
Oh, no.
you also saw the website that he that he left his PC on. It's some kind of an anti-government forum, like message board, and you see that he left a post there complaining about his harsh work environment and horrible co-workers. The last post was actually dated 3 days prior, and he said, and I quote, that his pathetic and despicable problems at work will soon be taken care of.
We need to run, guys.
But that was 3 days ago. Right?
The post was...
Yeah, and he hasn't been to work. That doesn't mean that he isn't in town, of course.
I think he's just picked up his shotgun and is over at the post office.
Yeah, but there is a 3-day gap. What he had been doing.
He's
3 days.
probably been home. He's probably been home and just gone over to the post office. Is there any sign in his house?
Okay.
Can I use criminology to see if he's been here today? If he's just like
of
recently left?
course you can roll. You have no idea, honestly. Like I said, the place is a mess.
Could I roll criminology?
Yeah, sure.
Slightly better.
Yeah, except it's a bot.
Turn it down.
All right.
66.
Yeah.
All right.
You are.
Well, I can I also, like, all of us can see?
Yeah, sure. Roll. Nice. Wait, you had this unfortunate case of the return of the shits.
And you suddenly hear the toilet door slams.
Yeah, both of you, Alison and Juan, you suddenly saw Wei just sprinting towards the toilet, which, by the way, is in worse condition than the one in Jim's diner, and
Of course.
that's saying a lot. Let me just say that Harold didn't flush, and
And neither will I.
and you just hear this apocalyptic sounds coming from there, which I'm not going to imitate because that's fucking disgusting.
Philip humor at its best.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Alison, you're just trying to take your mind away from this horror, eldritch eldritch horror that's occurring in the toilet.
It's so comical. First I puke myself to death, now I shit myself to death.
Yes.
You're contaminating every single crime
Yeah,
scene.
contaminating
What are you going to do at the post office? There's no options left for
I'm
you
like,
now.
I'm worthless.
Alison, you've fortunately used your long-honed CIA skills to deduce that yes, Harold Nixon was indeed home today. You're pretty sure that the gun safe was open today, and that the ammunition and the gun, shotgun most likely, was taken today.
Okay, well, I tell.
Yeah,
Knock on the door.
that's the tricky part.
I tell Juan then.
Go without
Yeah.
me.
Should I run to the... Go around me!
Save yourselves.
I'll be there later!
Yeah, you can just hear like Way going to.
Oh.
Ew.
Uh,
That screamed for paper.
Yeah.
Burns!
And when you finish telling Juan this, Alison, your phone rings. You're
I
thinking
answer.
that it's probably your handler, but it's your other phone, your like normal phone, not your organization phone.
My private.
Your private phone.
Yeah.
Because Susan Freckley, when she gave you Nixon's address, she also gave you she gave you her number, and she asked you for your number. So
Yeah.
that you'll be able to contact her if you find anything, and that she will be actually able to contact you if
Yeah.
she found anything.
Sure.
When you answer the phone, you hear her screaming, "It's Nixon! He's attacking the post office!" And you can hear someone in the background just shouting something. You can hear the booms of a shotgun, and then you hear the most horrible sounds of all. You hear Susan Freckley choking, but not as if she's being choked by someone. It sounds like she's drowning. Like her lungs fill with water. She's like, it's this horrible, horrifying sound of someone just falling into the water and never coming out. Roll for sanity, please. Only you, of course. You
I don't
only
mind.
you only lose one in that case. Because, like I said,
Damn,
this is
you're cold.
extremely like unsettling and realistic. And then, of course, after you've heard this, she clearly drops her phone, and the call goes out.
Yeah.
It's
I
like,
yell to- Yeah, I yell to Juan
Oh.
that we need to go to the post office.
All right.
I run.
Uh,
I run out to the street and I try
You
to...
run to the bus?
I run out to the street and try to stop a car.
you run outside. By the way, Way, you won't be able to. You are just you have dysentery, for all intents and purposes. You're just busy shitting yourself to near death.
We're busy in Terry.
Whatever Benjamin Hale did to you with that chant of his was clearly very serious, much more serious than you first anticipated.
This reminds me of our first mission with the diarrhea woman.
Oh yeah, the diarrhea woman. Yeah, as you run outside, I presume both of you as well, Alison. Or are you staying? And
No.
All right. You just hear, the sounds of the shits disappearing slowly behind you. Right, so Juan, roll for luck if you want to find the car, because there wasn't one when you've approached this place. Like I've said, this house
No, I mean,
is a bit far away from others.
I'm not trying to take his car. I'm
I know,
stopping a car in the road.
I know. That's
Here we go.
Well, okay, you've passed. You've managed to see a car driving towards you. It's like a small pickup. Well, an oxymoron, honestly, but you know, it's a pickup truck, but rather small.
Wave my badge and I stand in front of it and just stop it.
Okay. You're waving your badge. The man naturally stops, and he exits the car. What is the meaning of this, officer? He says.
Yeah, police emergency. Actually, we need to commandeer your vehicle, sir. Get out of the car, please.
I understand, sir. You can take my car. I'll get later.
Thank you. You can pick it up at the post office. It'll be there in 5 minutes. Allison, get in.
Very well, sir. Give him hell.
Thank you so much.
I'm pretty sure that people from Montana don't have an accent like that, but
they do now.
They do now.
Yeehaw, where's the moonshine?
How about those prejudices, sir?
Yeah, we want to offend everyone. So you hop
There's
in.
a message here from Montana.
Here's the message to Michael. Fuck you. Yeah. You jump in the car, you push the pedal to the metal, and you drive with wheels screeching. It's a real American muscle car. Like this. This is a Ford. This is a pickup truck made by Ford. It's red, white, and blue. There are empty cans of Budweiser inside. There's this Dixie flag hanging from the mirror. There's you feel like you're driving in a car owned by a redneck. Well, anyway, you quickly make your way back to the post office. Fortunately, it wasn't hard to backtrack. The Edmond is not a big town. It's not a city. It's a town. And as you approach the post office, you can even before you exit the car, you can hear the sounds of gunfire. It looks like Harold Nixon is not messing around. So, I guess you get out of the car, ready your weapons.
Take the front, you take the back, Allison.
Okay. All right. Allison, you move quickly to the back, while Juan, you move quickly to the front. Let's go with the initiative order. First we have Juan, then we have the guy, and then we have Allison, because you're Dex 10. Sorry, Wei, you're out of equation for now. You're just
it's out of combat order.
Yeah,
I'm fighting for my life, man.
Yeah, you are just trying to at least save a bit of your dignity.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, good luck with that one.
And
I'm dehydrated and I shot myself.
And you're failing miserably. That said, Juan, you approach the front door.
I'm gonna try. My plan is to set up a distractions and get his attention so that Allison can take him down. So basically, I'm gonna look inside and see what the situation is like in there. Try to stay in cover.
Okay. What you see is that there's a massacre going on inside. You see a man dressed in postal worker's uniform, wielding an AK-47 shotgun, just blasting at everyone in range. A couple of people are already laying on the floor dead. You can from where you're standing, you think you can see Susan Freckley and Mitchell laying on the floor. The thing is that they haven't been shot. They are laying in a pool of water. Water which seeps from their mouths.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the tricky thing. There are, however, a couple of other people, like I said, laying on the ground with their bodies riddled with buckshot. And
When I see him like shooting, I'm just gonna start shooting. I'm not gonna issue a warning or anything. I'm just gonna.
all right, yeah. By the way,
Tough one.
he is like he's shooting. He's standing in the middle of the post office, just swaying from left to right. Changing directions. He is shouting something. It sounds like like he also has a lot of water in his mouth. It sounds like he's shouting, just like he's drowning as well. The man clearly is completely demented. That said, roll a perception, please. Meanwhile, Alison, you are running to the back as quickly as you can.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, congratulations. You
Whoa.
the back door, of course, is open, so you just rush inside. Juan, what you saw, you've passed, but it'd probably be better if you didn't. Mainly because you saw something. You saw, you saw for a split second that Nixon's visage changed. Instead of this middle-aged, disgruntled, not very healthy man, you see a horrible apparition of a lipless, drowned being with pitch black eyes and long, wet hair covered in swamp water, like cascading in front of its face. Just for a split second, but it was there. So, I want you to roll me a sanity check.
Ah.
You've passed. You only lose 1 san in that case. You only lose 1 san. And yeah, so I'm just going to quickly roll one thing. Okay, let's make it interesting. It's a new round. Alison, you've entered the back offices of the postal building, and you make your way quickly to the main hall. Juan, you see the man is just killing everyone, and he's probably also not really a man, or maybe he once was. You're not sure.
I'll try and take him down.
You fire at him.
Yeah.
Roll for firearms. Well, roll for shooting.
Go.
Nice. He's not dodging. Roll for damage.
Nice. You're on fire.
Well,
It's a
I'm not.
revolver. Oh. You've shot at him. You've hit him in the arm. The thing is that he didn't even yell. He just didn't really care. Yeah, but that said, he looked at you, and he aimed his shotgun at you, and
he
fired.
didn't care. You said he didn't care.
He didn't care for being shot.
Nice one.
Yeah. He aimed
All
his
right.
shotgun at you, and he fired. Let's see if he'll manage to hit you. He did. He did.
Does that include cover?
Yes. Oh, yeah, because you were in cover. You were like I believe just
the doorway.
leaning around the doorway. Just let me quickly remind myself how cover works.
You get You have a combat modifier. Fully covered is minus 40%.
It's minus 40%. Okay.
Minus 20%.
Okay. Yeah, it's cover. Uh, Actually, I have this. Well, I'm clearly very good at this, so I still have my need to know booklet. It says here that cover reduces the damage from any attack except a cold shot, and it causes a lethality roll to automatically fail. That said, if you do have your book, and your book says that that the cover just gives minuses to hit, then
I was looking at the character sheet. It has combat actions, but I can look in the little book here.
okay.
I'll just flip it up. We can find.
Just armor and cover.
Combat cover. See protection in combat.
Yeah.
Okay, protection in combat.
Oh, thank you.
58 to 60. Armored exposed. Cover. Finding cover means using a hard barrier against attack. Protects more completely than body armor if you have cover against lethality. Blah blah blah. Alright, here we go. Target status. Fragile, exposed, behind cover. Behind cover. Roll HP damage. Subtract the cover's armor value from the damage.
Okay.
It says here.
Right. So he uses shotgun.
Yep.
Which is interesting enough that it has a few it will deal 2d6 damage at the distance that it is that you're standing, but you are in cover because you are leaning behind and firing. So I'm going to roll 2d6, and how much cover would you say that you have? I want you to tell me.
Somewhere, I think the right side of my body should be peeking out, so I'm saying about 60-70% covered.
Okay, but I mean, how many HP would you deduce?
Yeah, the list on page 59 says if it's a regular wall, it's 5. If it's a thick wall, like concrete, it's 10.
So we'll make it thick wall because it's a postal building with thick concrete walls. It's in a small town postal building, so it's brick, it's concrete, it's hard stuff. So I'm going to roll 2d6 and then we'll subtract 10 from this. So first d6 is 4, second d6 is 4. Alright, what happened was the man unloaded his shotgun at you, and the backshot just tore a huge chunk of masonry. You are unscathed.
Death.
Yeah, and death. The shrapnel, the fragments of backshot and plaster are flying everywhere. People are, of course, those who are still alive. There are still quite a lot of them. They've mainly, hidden behind the counter or behind some behind some benches, behind some I don't know, newspaper stands, stuff like that. They are, of course, screaming horribly. You also saw that Nixon once again looks like him. The face of the apparition just disappeared. That said, he looks even more deranged than Hale. You don't think that you are looking at a man anymore. You're just looking at someone who is completely in the throes of madness. Allison, you approach quickly with your weapon drawn. You approach quickly the entrance to the main hall from behind.
Yeah.
You can see what I've described before. Nixon is standing in the middle of the room, just firing his ifaka at everyone. You think you can see Juan leaning from, behind a wall and just firing his magnum at the maniac.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
I'm gonna shoot him.
You shoot him. You take aim. You are standing, still like in the small corridor leading to the main hall. You take
Yep.
aim. You fire. Roll.
Yes.
Once again, your shots just fly all around. Juan, you suddenly heard a bullet whistling past your ear.
I shoot him, she said. She didn't say who.
Yeah. So now we have new round, and it's your turn.
All right, I snap off another shot.
Roll.
Booyah!
Nice. He's not dodging. Roll damage.
Thank you. There, we smacked him in the head. No.
So 6 total, right?
Up.
All right. You've managed to grace him with your shots once again. The man is he's staggered a bit, but you see that he's still standing, and you see something strange. He lowered his weapon with one hand. He reached up with his left hand, and he began to speak.
Oh no, he's gonna give me the shits.
The thing is that, and you're pretty sure he's speaking in Russian.
Russian.
Yeah. Yes, so that's that. Alison, it's you now.
Yeah.
Please.
Well.
You shoot again, I presume. You also hear this.
Yes.
You hear that this man is gurgling Russian, but it's not sounding natural. Needless to say. Roll for weapon.
Sure.
Roll for firearms. What I mean. No.
Oh my god!
You are firing your Bertha like crazy. The bullets are flying everywhere. They are ricocheting. You've destroyed a window. You've destroyed a lamp. Juan, you feel like you've entered a war zone. There's a mad postal worker chanting Russian nonsense, and there's your colleague firing from deep within the postal office.
At you!
Shit.
With
At everything.
And Wei Shen is sitting on the toilet just
Crying, mostly crying.
evacuating his bowels.
No, actually, most crying right now.
Yeah, it's probably that. The thing is, you can hear that with each word, Nixon sounds like he's gurgling more, like his lungs are actually filling with water. And you realize quickly that the man begins to drown.
All right.
Juan, what are you doing?
I'm gonna keep shooting. I don't know any other way to help him, so I'm just gonna take him down. I guess. I think he's turning into something worse.
All right, you fire. How many bullets do you have left?
Assuming I shoot one each time, I do have 4 rounds left.
Okay, cool, awesome. So yeah.
Booyah!
Roll that.
Oh, sir.
You've managed to shot the man in the leg. That said, unfortunately, he didn't, like I said, he didn't even flinch. And
Go down already.
now I'm going to roll for him. Oh. He speaks even quicker and with more desperation in his voice. That said, you don't hear words anymore. You just hear someone dying from drowning. Even though there's no water here. Well, except for that in which poor Susan Freckley and Mitchell lie. Yeah, so after that we have Allison. You once again fire your Beretta.
Yes!
Is this a good thing? Does the entity like vanish and go to other people?
Allison, you rolled. Okay, cool. Roll for damage. It's a D10, I believe.
Beretta D10. Yeah. Can I just do like that? No.
Yep.
No, I think you have to.
That's.
Oh yeah, that damage 4.
Yeah, that's both the firearms roll and the damage.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
it's like
That's
4.
cool.
I'm just clicking everywhere.
Yeah.
What do we say about clicking?
Alright, so from what I see, you've managed to 9. Alright. You've unloaded your Beretta on the man, just emptying the rest of the magazine with fury in your heart and, you know, steely determination. Most of the bullets actually missed. The 2 that hit him right under his shoulder blades were enough. The man fell to the ground, the shotgun clattering from his hands. He fell to the ground. He vomited blood and filthy, dirty, disgusting swamp water. Twitched a couple of times and just lay there. Juan, unfortunately, you have to roll sanity.
Go. No.
No, and I believe that in this case, I really need some kind of. Okay, yeah, I know what I'm going to roll. It's just D4. You only lose 1, and Alison, you also need to roll, but that's
Sanity.
yeah, it's easy roll for you. You don't lose even a single point. Yeah.
Hasn't even raised the pulse yet.
Yeah, that's that's it. The smell of cordite in the air and of blood, of urine and feces, because few people, you know, just soiled themselves out of fear, and those who died, unfortunately, also lost control of their bowels, and of the dirty swamp water fills the entirety of the postal building.
I'm just gonna keep aiming and keep securing the scene. I just had an idea that it might wander to somebody else. So
Alright.
suspicious as hell. I'm just gonna keep watching the scene so far.
Alright. People are, you know, they've stopped screaming. They're now just sobbing and muttering, scared. But that's it. Alison, I presume that you quickly change the magazine in your weapon and just, you know, emerge with it, with it at the ready. Juan, you approach the man. He is dead. I mean, when you've approached him, he just breathed his last, you know, expiring the last of the filthy, foul water and blood from his punctured lungs. Harold Nixon is dead. The insane postal employee is no more.
I just, yeah, okay. I look around. Does he carry anything else? Is there any sign of the icon?
You would have to check him really.
I do. I pat him down.
What?
I pat him down. I do a body search.
All right. Yeah, he has the icon on him. It's
I look up at Alice and I just give a nod.
you take it out.
Yes. Well, I take it. I try to smuggle it. I don't. I try actually not to grab it, but just shovel it inside of my clothes.
You need to take it out if you want to do this.
Does he carry it?
He carries it in his inner jacket pocket.
All right. I do take it out. I put it in my inner coat.
All right.
Actually, no.
Like
yeah, I do.
Even though you're not trying to look at it, of course, there's you need to touch it. The icon is made from wood, polished wood. It's like I said, 9 inches by 1 foot. You quickly saw that actually the front contains a painting of a disturbing humanoid creature. A creature which has long, lanky hair covering its lipless mouth.
Exactly like the one he turned into briefly.
Yeah, the one which visage superimposed itself on the man's face for a split second. Roll me, son, please.
Gladly, sir. Here you go. No.
No. All right. So in that case,
Imposed.
once again, only a single point. Very good rolls. So now I also need you to make me a power versus power roll.
Go.
You roll your power versus power 15.
I rolled 18 out of 60. I don't know how that would work. I guess you roll and then we...
Yeah, when you've touched the icon, for a split second, you felt as if something tried to invade your mind.
Oh shit!
But you've quickly put it inside your clothes, pockets, stuff like that. You've stopped touching it with your hands. You stopped looking at it. The feeling is gone.
Holy hell! Okay, that was sloppy of me.
But it was one of the most unpleasant feelings of your entire life. You've literally felt as if something tried to enter your mind and subsume you.
Oh wait.
Alison, you see that Juan, for a split second, he flinched, and you've inadvertently raised your weapon up, but after the split second you saw that Juan is still Juan.
Won't hit anything anyway.
Is it over? You can hear people, so, is that the police? Is he dead? It's Nixon! It's Harold Nixon! What happened to Freckley and Mitchell? Look! What happened to them? There's this water! It stinks! Oh my god! People are just hysterical. They are in a state of mild to heavy hysteria.
We need to call 911.
You need to get out of here quick. Especially you, Alison.
Alright, we go and we just yell to somebody. Somebody call 911 and we run out of there.
Alright. Well, you run. Alison, what about you?
Yeah, I
You follow Juan. I presume you're running to Nixon's home where you've left Shen. Right? Okay.
Yes.
You make your way as quickly as possible. Along the way, you're just sprinting there. You're losing your breath. I mean, it is 15 minutes away from the post office, but you don't care. Meanwhile, you've started hearing police sirens, and you know that your 2 hours of free time, so to speak, are probably up. Fortunately, as you are approaching the as you are approaching the house of Harold Nixon, where hopefully Wei Shen is still inside. Allison, your phone once again goes off. This time it's your agency's phone.
Okay, I answer.
You hear your handler. Miss Still, the time has run out. They're on to you. Keep your phone on. The pilot will lock onto you. There will be a chopper landing on the outskirts of where you are, nearby of where you are.
Okay.
I presume that you have everything. If not, then make sure that you get out of there in one piece. Do not
Yes.
allow to be caught. And yeah, so I guess that you are keeping the phone on.
Yep.
You enter the house. Wei is actually just. I mean, Wei, you've stopped what you were doing, some time ago.
Yeah.
So, and you've spent the last couple of minutes just sitting on this man dirty couch and knocking down glasses of water.
Yeah.
You've never felt so bad as now. it's just ridiculous. You guys grab Wei. You see that your friends are in one piece, fortunately. That said, you also hear sirens getting closer. You guys grab Wei and you move towards the outskirts of the town.
Yeah, we need to go to the bus station, train station.
We need to get the evidence first.
Yeah, from the bus station.
All right. You go to the bus station, sure.
Should I go alone, guys? And I mean,
Yeah, sure.
he can barely move.
Yeah, go.
All right.
All right, I go.
You go there. What about the rest of you? You know
yeah.
that the cops will be here very quickly. After all, this is the house of now mass murderer. You're not sure how many people did Nixon killed, but you know that this will make news. National news, not only Montana's news. So my question is, are you staying here or are you going somewhere else?
We still have the car we borrowed, right?
Oh, I left it at the post office. We
Oh,
ran
okay.
back to the house.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, yeah, I forgot about the car. It would make more sense if you jump in the car and just drove there. So you
Would
still
make more sense, but I think actually that Juan is such a decent guy that he told the guy he was gonna leave it there. So I think I actually left it there.
okay. So so no car, sure.
Sorry about that.
So where are you going in this case? That's my question.
Yeah, because I can't go into the bus station.
The sirens are getting closer, by the way.
No, you get him to the extraction point. I go to the bus station and back.
Okay,
You
then I keep going.
Okay, so you just move away towards the edge of the town as you were told. You're not exactly sure which edge, but you have your phone on, so you guess that the pilot will lock on you.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, Juan, you're just making your way towards the bus station. You without even rolling, you know one thing: the bus station will be one of the first places that will be covered.
Yeah.
You're a police officer. It's a
Yeah,
standard
of course.
procedure.
But the guy is down.
What?
I
Yeah,
mean, the guy is down. The
guy-
mass murderer is down.
the guy is
Basically,
down, but you've been once again involved in a shooting, which
That's
ended in fatalities, and your cover is now gone.
That's true.
So
I just got to be quick about it, I guess.
in that case, we just use luck, and this time 150 means that everything is fine. Above that, well,
Yeah, here we go.
You have company.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, I have company.
You approach the bus station, and before you've even managed to, to run like to the open, fortunately, you saw that there are already cops there. Just there are patrol cars, parked all around. There are cops armed with long weapons, AR-15s, MP5s, full tactical gear for a small town, but they do have tactical vests. They are just making sure that no one will leave. They're not taking any chances. And you know that people who dress like that, there's a big chance that they will shoot first and ask questions never.
I'm just not gonna risk it. These guys, they can send somebody else to pick up the
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
So I'm just gonna leg it towards the extraction point and stuff.
yeah. Meanwhile, Alison, you're making your way to the edge where your phone suddenly, like, you can hear someone. I mean, you have this. The call is like on. You can hear someone is like trying to contact you, yelling. Do you answer?
Yes.
This is Nighthawk. I'm your pilot today. I'll be setting down in exactly one mic, and you can hear the characteristic sound of chopper's engines, like. You can see that from above the like the wall of trees, a chopper emerges. An old UH-1 Huey, however painted in like as a civilian chopper, essentially. You can see that it quickly touches down on a small clearing just outside the town. You run with Wei, who you really need to like support, otherwise he would just be able to hobble.
Yep.
Inside the chopper, you see that there's a man who looks, honestly, he looks like a redneck. He has this long beard, long hair. He has a flannel shirt, trucker's cap. He's like 50, 60 maybe, you're not sure. He's like, "Welcome, Missy! Hop on aboard and take the chink with you." Well, hurry up, we don't have all day.
Yeah, I help Wei onto the
Yeah.
chopper, and then I before I jump on, I look out for if I can see Juan.
You don't see him. "Where's the spick?" he asks.
What the hell?
"Well, we don't have
Yeah,
time. They'll be scrambling their choppers, and we need to get out of here as fast as possible."
Yeah, he needed to get some evidence. He's on his way, I'm sure.
"All right, then we'll pick him along the way. I hope he's good at evade and escape. Hang in tight." And he just, like the chopper lurches up. You've barely managed to crawl inside. UH-1 just, like, shot up rather quickly, and then you're flying high and above. And from where you are now, you can see, you look back, you two way, and you can see that there are police cars emerging from in between buildings, riding towards where you were just before. If you would stay even for a few seconds later, you would essentially be caught. The pilot, who calls himself Nighthawk, and I'm not even kidding, expertly flies just above the line of trees, far away from the town of Edmond as possible. As far away from the town of Edmond as possible. 3 hours later, he picked Juan, whom you've managed to contact via a cell phone. Juan actually managed to escape from the town and just, enter the woods. The police sent search parties all around Edmond, naturally. Search parties with dogs. Nighthawk told you when you've put on the earphones, like the headsets in the chopper, that they will be even sending drones to scout you out. But fortunately, Juan managed to evade the patrols long enough for the pilot to pick him up from a small country road. Juan isn't looking much better than Wei, honestly, because Juan, you were just, through that few hours you were just running. But you've managed to get inside with help from Allison and Wei, and you're up. Another hour, and the pilot dropped you off right at the edge of the state of the state of Montana.
Right.
He landed. He's not even exiting the pilot's cabin. He's like, "Well, I'm going to drop you off here. You can stop a car or steal it." And he looks at you, Juan. However you wish it to. Send my regards to the boss and tell him I'm always up for some, side job. See you later. And he flew away in his racist helicopter. You are standing right next to a relatively large but not main interstate road. You don't have your evidence with you, but you know that it's not a problem to just send someone there and grab it, so really it's no big deal. And I guess you'll try and find a way to return back and to give your report. But that's not the end of your adventures on the road, even though we finished the scenario today. Next time, we'll start another one. But I'm not going to tell you anything more, because it's that's how we build suspense. When I'm not describing people having diarrhea or introducing some horrible stereotypes. I'm pretty good at these things. Anyway, that was for today. That was the scenario called, by the way, Special Delivery. As usual, it was taken from the
it was a very special delivery.
Yeah, it was taken from the Fairfoot project. This was an entry in the 2014 Shotgun Scenario Contest, written by Tyler Hudek. I've probably butchered that name. I'm sorry. I think it was pretty fun. Thank you for playing this with me, guys, as usual.
Thank you.
And
Thank
next
you.
time we'll start new scenario, which I'm not going to, of course, give the name, because the name could spoil quite a bit. So I'm not going to do this.
No name.
Yeah, it's a no-name scenario, but I will drop the operations name on our Facebook group. That said, you can spend your... Okay, tell you what. Let's quickly... I'll quickly ask you, what do you want to improve? Because this scenario will start almost immediately after this one.
Okay.
It will start on the road. But for convenience sakes, I want you guys to be able to try and improve yourselves. So Juan, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna.
Naturally, you can't use you can't talk to a psychologist, stuff like that. But maybe you want to improve some stat.
I'm thinking. Is it possible to study the unnatural from the sources that we gain?
Yes. No. Well, I mean, it would, but you don't have the sources. The sources remained in the locker. All you have is the icon, which, by the way, I don't even have to ask you. I presume that you've told the guys that it's probably better not to look at it and not to touch it.
Yeah, as we deliver it, of course.
Yeah, so it's still with you in your pocket, secured, zipped,
Yeah.
I mean, it's hidden behind a ziplock, and you're not touching it until you arrive and meet with your handler. So, but tell you what, you can try and improve your occult, I think, or maybe unnatural. How can you improve your unnatural? I know that you can't learn it, but is there a way to actually just like roll to see if you've managed to improve it? Is there a way, guys?
There's no improvement slot on the unnatural skill, so I don't think you get an improvement
Okay.
roll.
So you know what? Let's make it easier. Let's say that all of you, after what you've witnessed and what you've accomplished, Alison, you have your unnatural on 10% right now, while you guys have it on 5%.
Right? Cool.
I think that's fair because
Yeah.
Alison was in more unnatural situations. After all, she was there from the beginning. She witnessed Wendigo, stuff like that, while you guys joined a bit later. But you saw enough to actually improve this, and I think that's fair. So Juan and Wei 5%, Alison 10% total.
Cool.
Okay.
For personal pursuit, in that case, is going to be back to nature.
Okay. Well, like I said, this is for this. Like, this is your improvement for this game. Like your personal pursuits and stuff like that will make after the next scenario. Okay.
All right,
Okay.
cool. So for personal improvements, I have used and failed 2 skills
Okay. Which were?
to roll criminology and first aid.
Okay. Okay.
Basically, if I roll them and fail, I get plus a d10 in those skills. If I'm correct.
No, if you roll them and fail, I believe you always get 1% in them. By the way, like in game, during a game, if you roll a skill and fail, you gain 1% in that skill.
It's a d10.
It's a d10, really? Let me see.
I don't know. Oh, we can do this between games.
I honestly think it's 1%. Maybe it's like d10 if you are studying it, but okay. Yeah, we do this between games. For now, let's just end it here. I'll make a doodle for like our next game. There's a rather big chance that it will be in 2020.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll see you guys then. But we are in touch as usual.
Of course.
Yeah.
With more bad puns.
Yeah. Yes, with more bad puns.
Always.
The puns never end. Thank you for the game, and well, I will wish you Merry Christmas. Well, sorry, Happy Holidays. When the time is right. So I'm not wishing them now. It's a bit early for that, but thank you. What can I say? Well, it's been great playing with you guys.
Thank you.
Thank
See you
you.
next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take
Very
care.
nice.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.